With the recent oil price chart looking like some of our favorite meme stocks like AMC or GameStop, one might wonder exactly how it's going to affect us common folk, and honestly, the numbers might surprise you. So you guys can tell, I'm kind of new at hitting the record button, but I'm a seasoned professional at hitting the like button. So if I'm going to take this channel from the ground to the moon, I'm going to need your help, need the help from my friend right here, and please just comment, like, subscribe if you like what you see and if you learned something. Well, if you clicked on this video, I'm going to guess you're one of two people. Either a Tesla owner like myself, just looking to justify your purchase even more, or you have a gas vehicle and you were just super tired of soaring gas prices and depreciation eating away at your pocket. So no matter what side of the great electric vehicle versus gas vehicle debate that you were on, it's a good discussion and it's something everyone can learn from. Especially as the current events change our economic trends and ultimately change our day-to-day lives. So in this video, we're going to compare one of the most commonly sold vehicles in the world and stack it up against the Tesla Model 3. So what's the most commonly sold vehicle in the world? None other than the Toyota Camry. So to really show you guys the cost difference with everything factored in, I really went all out. I'm going to be showing you the cheapest trim and the most expensive trim on the Toyota Camry. So if we're not including insurance costs, there are just a few factors that go into determining of the cost of a vehicle. Number one is the initial cost of the vehicle. How much did you actually spend to buy the car? Number two is depreciation. How much does your car lose value over its lifetime? Number three is fuel costs, and I'm sure all of you know what those are given the state of the world right now. And number four is general maintenance, which is just the price you pay to keep your car running as long as possible. So if we're just talking initial cost, the most expensive trim on the Camry came out to be about $34,600, whereas the least expensive trim came out to be about $23,845. Enter the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. So here's where things get a little bit wild. So in 2019, which was a year after the Model 3 was announced, demand skyrocketed, causing prices to increase and the sticker price to vary. And because the Model 3 fluctuated to a low of $35,000 and a high of $39,000, I just took the average of the two and made the MSRP $37,000 for that year. So now let's look at some studies talking about the depreciation on both of these cars. A study by Electric showed that the Tesla Model 3 only lost about 10% to depreciation over a 3-year period. Meanwhile, another study by CarEdge.com stated that the same car lost about 24% over that same 3-year period. So once again, I'll be taking the average of the two and making it about 17% average depreciation over a 3-year period. So if we look at similar studies by CarEdge.com, they found that the Toyota Camry lost about 34% over that same 3-year period. But now let's talk about fuel costs, just so I can justify to myself that I did not clickbait you guys. I swear, I would never do that. So due to some recent events that I don't even have to go into, gas prices have soared to levels we haven't seen since 2008. So looking at this article by USA Today, they found that the average nationwide gas price has rose to about $4 a gallon, whereas some places in California have as high as $8 a gallon to as low as $3.50 a gallon in some of the southern states. So for the purpose of this video and a little bit of simplicity, I'm just going to use the conservative $4 a gallon because that's what USA Today told us. So some of the math I'm going to be using for electric vehicle charging is going to be based off the Tesla Supercharger network, because honestly, that's probably what you're going to use if you're like me and you don't have access to at-home charging yet. So for that, we're going to use 25 cents a kilowatt, as that's the nationwide average for charging. So of course, before we even factor in fuel costs, we have to actually do the math on how much a person actually drives every single year. For this, we can use the vast majority of insurance companies because they estimate that your average driver drives about 10,000 miles every single year. So honestly, just to make things super simple, I'm just going to be calculating the average cost per mile because I know these two cars have very different top ranges. So if you're still with me, I promise we are almost there. I'm going to break everything down as simply as possible very soon. And if you're one of those that already left, I'm sorry, you won't get to enjoy a short clip of my father, Elon Musk, dancing. And last but not least, good old maintenance. Now these are things that could vary greatly just based on the car brand, the car type, or even just the roads that you drive on. Places that just have tons of potholes are going to do a lot more damage than places that are perfectly paved. But certainly not as much damage as your ex-wife did to you when she found out that you pawned her wedding ring just for a Tesla. Sheila, I'm really not sorry, and I will do it again. Sorry. So based on a few studies, the Toyota Camry averaged about $400 every single year in general maintenance. And within a few of the same studies, they found that the Tesla Model 3 averaged a little bit lower than the Camry at $300 every year in general maintenance. So if we're talking about the Toyota Camry, the most expensive trim was $34,600, and the least expensive trim was $23,845. Depreciation on the most expensive trim came out to be about $11,764. Meanwhile, it was $8,107 on the least expensive trim. So over the course of a 3-year period, we factor in 30,000 miles, and that comes out to be about $3,500 on average for gas. And last but not least, maintenance, which is $1,200 over a 3-year period. Initial cost on that 2019 Tesla Model 3 came out to be about $37,000 even. Depreciation over a 3-year period came out to be about $6,290. Fuel costs over the range of 30,000 miles came out to be about $1,650. And then general maintenance came out to be about $900 over 3 years. So the total cost of ownership over a 3-year period came out to be about $16,804 for the most expensive trim and $12,787 for the least expensive trim. Meanwhile, the Tesla Model 3 came out to be about $8,840. So with all things considered, by using the most expensive trim and the least expensive trim, the Tesla Model 3 did come out ahead by at least a margin of 50%. And of course, the cheapest option would always just to be not buy a new car unless your current car is stuck on the side of the road and you're watching this video while you're waiting for a tow truck. So honestly, at the end of the day, just drive what makes you happy. Don't stress about the little things that really aren't going to matter 10, 30, 50 years from now, unless you're like me and you really want to know where each penny goes. So that's the video. I hope I did an okay job. I hope you guys learned something. So let me know if you have advice or suggestions, questions, whatever you have. Put it down in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see and if there's any other topics you want me to venture into in the future. Thank you again for watching, and I hope I see you in the next one.